history of India is the historic climb of Everest in 1965. So what we are doing today is that we are sort of taking the clock back to the era of 65 years, 50 years back, to remember how mountaineering originated in India, the climb of Everest, originally by Tenzing and Hillary, leading up to the 65 expedition which was done by Indians for the first time. So the format we're looking at today is that we're going to get Captain Kohli, who was the leader of the 1965 expedition, to speak a few words about Tenzing. He knew Tenzing on a personal basis. They used to travel together and they were involved in many ways. And then Sujoy will do a presentation on Tenzing, talking through his climbs and his personal life as well.
Ladies and gentlemen, I am very happy to be here on this important occasion. In the annals of Indian mountaineering, Tenzing has played the most important role. When he climbed Everest in 1953, being an Indian citizen and resident of Darjeeling, it was a matter of great pride, of course pride for the whole world, but especially for India. And our Prime Minister Jawaharlal Nehru and Chief Minister of Bengal, Dr. B.C. Rai, they have been the visionaries. They thought, why not we start mountaineering in India and put Tenzing as in charge of Mountaineering Institute in Darjeeling. So that is how the mountaineering in India started. And today, it is 100th anniversary.
Can we have the lights off, please? So good evening, friends. A very warm welcome to all of you. At the outset, I would like to thank the Himalayan Club Delhi for giving me this opportunity to make this presentation on the life of Tenzing Norgay. And I would also like to thank Captain MS Kohli for the very interesting anecdotes which he has just related on Tenzing, which he only would know due to his long association with Tenzing. So my presentation would be about 45 minutes, and we'll get started right away. So there are a number of photographs in this presentation where the names of the photographers are unknown. Actually, the archives of the Royal Geographic Society, who collect all the Everest photographs, marks these photographers as unknown, and therefore it's not possible to know who they are. I hope this copyright notice will be sufficient, and it is for those photographers. So we are looking here at Everest from the north, and here you have the summit of Everest, 29,035 feet. It was earlier 29,028 feet. And here you have the second step and the first step, both of which are extremely important in what I'm going to say. And down here, you have the Camp 6 of the 1924 British Everest expedition at 26,700 feet. And this was the highest camp of the British. So on 8th June 1924, two climbers left this camp in the morning to make an attempt for the summit of Everest. This red line, or rather one of these two red lines, would have been the route which in all likelihood they would have followed. And somewhere down here, below Camp 6, at Camp 5, another British climber by the name of Noel Odell had started out for Camp 6. Odell was a geologist, and he was collecting fossils from the slopes of Mount Everest. So Odell recounts that it was not a very good day to climb Mount Everest. In Odell's own words, rolling banks of mist were sweeping across this entire face, blanketing out this entire mountain. And Odell was not able to see this summit ridge or the summit of Everest. It was also extremely cold and windy, so the odds were heavily stacked against the two climbers. Suddenly, at about 12:50 in the afternoon, the clouds lifted and Odell could see this summit ridge. Odell noticed a black dot climbing a rock step, which he thought was this one, the second step. And as he watched, he saw a second black dot climbing behind this first black dot. But before Odell could be sure that the second black dot had joined the first black dot, the mist closed in on the mountain, and this fantastic vision was lost forever. As most of us know, the two climbers who Odell saw were George Mallory and Andrew Irwin, going strongly for the summit of Everest. Mallory and Irwin were never seen again. And with the disappearance of Mallory on Everest, a legend was born. Mallory's name became linked to Everest, and Mallory became known as Mallory of Everest.